You're watching Traders Morning Setups with Dex the Algo Capitalist. Dex created his pulse wave price trigger reports over 2 decades ago, and he's been using them to ride the pulse waves as a full-time trader ever since. Find out more about Dex's reports and sign up for our next webinar to learn how to use them at pulsewavetrading.com.
Good morning. Hopefully you had a good night's sleep and you're ready to face the day. This is our Thursday, December the 14th, 2023 edition of the pre-market show with yours truly, Dex the Algo Capitalist, aka the Vulcan, coming to you live from pulsewavetrading.com, home of the world famous pulse wave price trigger reports. There's a lot going on. We got Kathleen Lagarde at the ECB doing a press conference right now. We had Powell do his yesterday with the FOMC in the United States. This morning, we had some government reports that came out, jobless claims. I think it was retail sales or something else. So just a lot of government-packed news this week, just everywhere. And here's how the markets are being affected by it. We got the U.S. dollar index down a whopping 66 pips, trading at 102.20. All right, so we're at the 102 handle now, threatening to go to 101 in the U.S. dollar index. The overnight low is 102.06. The euro is catching a bid off of this. It's up 70 pips at 109.60. We had the pound sterling catching bids at up 85 pips at 127.12. And we have the Aussie catching bids at, it's up 29 pips at 66.95. Unfortunately, Bitcoin futures are down $460 right now, trading at $42,750. It should be noted that in the overnight market, we did dip to a low of $42,020 in your Bitcoin futures. Is the bear market trend trying to claim the price action in Bitcoin? Let's see. Ethereum is going the other way, up $22.50, trading at $2,298.50. And we have crude oil futures up over $2 per barrel. That's right, folks. Crude oil futures up $2.12 a barrel, trading at $71.59. We just bounced off of, what was that, 67 the other day? So quite the turnaround here in your crude oil. Also in that gas, we're up 2 pennies at $2.35. And gold futures just explosive, up $54.20 per ounce in gold. Gold trading at $2,051.60. But not to be forgotten, silver. Silver is up a whopping $1.37 per ounce, trading at $24.30 per ounce. It should be noted that although these explosive moves higher in the metals is eye-popping and staggering, the word on the algo chart streets is that these two may get sold off violently over the next couple of days. So watch your back. If you are long these two markets, gold and silver, you might want to tighten up stops or even consider taking some profit. You can always get back in the market. Remember, you will never, ever go broke taking profits. In copper, we are up 10 cents at $3.89. Dow futures up 156 points, trading at 37,648, folks. 37,000 Dow. Who would have thunk it? And it should also be noted that the E-mini S&P, not to be forgotten, is up 21 points at 4781. Think about it. 47. Flirting with 48. Want to know why? Because the E-mini S&P 500 hit 4790 just moments ago. And yes, we have a bullish 2-bar Charlie setup in the E-mini S&P 500. We expect an all-day up day and for the market to finish in the green. In the E-mini NASDAQ 100, it's up 46 3/4 points, trading at 16,822 1/4. And yes, we have a bullish 2-bar Charlie set up in the NASDAQ 100. We're expecting all day up day and for the market to finish in the green. And not to be forgotten, we have the Russell My Hustle up 33 points, trading at 2,004 and 20. That's right, folks, a 2,000 Russell. Who would have thunk it? This market was just at the 17 handle. And now here we are at 2,000. Just something to think about. You were at 1,700 and that was just a few days ago. Now you're at 2,000. Explosive turnaround. Not to be forgotten, the grain markets are trying to recover from yesterday's staggering losses. Beans still in the teens. Beans are trading at $13.12. That's $13.12 per bushel, up 4 cents. We got corn up 3 cents at $4.82 per bushel. And wheat is up 7 cents, trading at $6.12 per bushel. In news today, we have U.S. President Joe Biden's loss is the market's gain. The tech trends VCs are most excited about in the coming year, and the top up incomers working in entertainment. But first, cocky or confident? Investors love it when a plan comes together, and the Fed is finally playing its part in Wall Street's bid for a big 2024. Jerome Powell and company announced they continue to hold off on raising interest rates, but the fun didn't stop there. The fight with inflation seems to be ending, as the Fed is projecting 3 rate cuts planned for 2024. The market rejoiced with the Dow Jones Industrial Average hitting an all-time high. A pause in rate hikes is one thing, but an acknowledgement of incoming cuts let the good times roll in 2024. But at least one Wall Street bank has been wondering if the market is getting overconfident. UBS cited the ultra-low levels of the VIX index, a measure of expected stock volatility over the next 30 days, as an example of investors getting ahead of themselves. At present, markets are priced for this optimal outcome, strategists wrote in a note last week. The VIX index of implied U.S. equity market volatility, a popular measure of fear in markets, is close to historical lows, pointing to a degree of overconfidence. And the Dow at an all-time high, rate cuts are coming, and you're pessimistic? You must be a blast at parties. I don't mean to come off like a, Debbie Downer, but there are reasons to hold off on penciling in those 2024 returns. For one, Fed Chair Powell made it clear the projected 2024 cuts are just that, a projection. Inflation is still too high. Ongoing progress in bringing it down is not assured, and the path forward is uncertain, Powell said in his opening statement on Wednesday. Translation: don't count your chickens before they hatch. They could turn out to be buzzards. And inflation is a thing we all might have to deal with for the foreseeable future. That's the take from some market experts, including Wall Street guru Jim Grant, who pointed out that the purchasing power we lost from inflation isn't coming back. And as far as we've covered before, rate cuts don't necessarily equate to instant gratification for the market. So you might want to hold off on those big spending plans for 2024 at least a little bit longer. Now, what's bad for Biden is actually good for the markets. Who knew? A note from Ned Davis Research details how a low approval rating for the U.S. president has been coupled with better market returns. When the Gallup poll presidential approval rating is between 35 and 50%, the Dow Jones has delivered an average annual return of 9.9% compared to 2.4% when the approval rating is above 65%. How to build a massive hedge fund. Bobby Jane is expected to have the largest ever hedge fund launch. From trading style to staffing, Here's what longtime Millennium and Credit Suisse executive is telling investors ahead of the fund's summer launch. The rent is too high. The U.S. median asking rent for November saw a 2.1% year over year decline, according to Redfin. That's the biggest drop since 2020, and a sign that renters might finally be getting a leg up on landlords. Is it better to be feared or loved? Sam Altman is both. The OpenAI CEO has leadership qualities that led some to quit in solidarity during his ouster, but others find him impatient, abrupt, and a bit superior. OpenAI insiders describe how Altman runs things. What the VCs are saying about the 2024 in tech? Well, AI startups will get a harder look. The IPO market will stay quiet. There will be another startup extinction moment. Large players will go on a shopping spree. These are just some of the trends that will dominate 2024, according to venture capitalists from over 30 firms. Apple's beefing up security on the iPhone. The tech giant is using location data to deter thieves trying to change passwords or update security settings on a stolen phone. The new feature, stolen device protection, will require a user's biometric information. If the phone is not in a recognizable location for the user, like a home. Just remember this, folks. As soon as you start giving out biometric information, that is the most sensitive information you can give out. Bank account information, social security numbers, you know, things that occur when people get doxxed. Those are embarrassing and all that, but there's nothing more intimate than your biometric information, which will be packaged and sold to the highest bidder by any company that is gathering that information. You need to know that, folks. Don't do it. Meet Hollywood's rising stars. Business Insider identified the top up-and-comers shaping the entertainment industry. Meet 25 young executives identifying, producing, and managing fascinating stories for the big and small screen at top companies like Netflix, Disney, and Warner Brothers TV. TikTok has the news Gen Z can use. The popular app is becoming the generation's go-to source for news, whether it's news commentary influencers or on-the-ground citizen journalists. It's the latest shift for an industry that's already struggling to stay afloat. The first president of the Amazon labor union could be pushed out the door. Chris Smalls, a former Amazon warehouse worker who helped lead the unionization efforts, has faced internal criticism for being more concerned with consolidating power than addressing union members' needs. A new settlement could now see him voted out. And in other news, Wayfair CEO tells employees the company is profitable once again, but to expect long hours and blending work and life. Very interesting how they use the term blending work and life. In other words, you will take work home with you. You will work in the office. You will work when you're at home. You will work during the weekends. You will work on holidays. You will work when we say work. When we say work, you say how high. And yes, you will be on call too. Who cares that you're enjoying little Timothy's birthday party? Get your behind to the office right now. Who cares that you and your wife are out enjoying a nice, lavish dinner to celebrate your wedding anniversary? Get your behind to the office. That's what that means, folks. Leaked audio. Google CEO says company could have handled layoffs better, but if we didn't act, it would have been a worse decision down the line. Former head of Facebook DEI efforts, Barbara Furlow Smiles, admits she embezzled $4 million from the company. These 5 trends will shape how consumers spend their money in 2024, according to the maker of Guinness and Smirnoff. Americans could save $3.4 billion through a new rule preventing exploitative fees when buying a new car, the FTC says. Yeah, all they're doing is trying to, wet your whistle a little bit, trying to prime the pump to make it a little bit easier to afford the EVs. Ain't nobody stupid. We peep game here. Texas found startling amounts of a cancer-causing chemical in the air outside Houston. Nobody told the residents. Of course, this is nothing new. We've been breathing toxic air for decades. Anybody remember chemtrails? The end is coming for dirty energy. Countries strike historic deal on fossil fuels in Dubai. Dubai is quickly becoming the new Las Vegas, is it not? I showed up to a GOP congressman's 16-minute Christmas party. Almost half of Gen Z think being financially compatible is more important than being physically attracted to their partner, survey finds. See, this explains why, Princess Leia, on the down low was attracted to Jabba the Hutt. This explains why the beauty married the beast. This explains, why the princess, married Shrek. All this stuff is starting to make sense now. Isn't that what they even said in the cartoon? Marry the mole. They told the lady, marry the mole. So yeah, marry the mole. If the mole has a big fat wallet, marry the mole. Doesn't matter that he's a mole or Jabba the Hutt. Marry him anyway. Doesn't matter if he has a growth sticking out of his side that actually speaks and thinks. Go ahead and marry him anyway. Billionaire hedge fund boss King Griffin to pay Manhattan Cathedral up to $164 million for air rights to build new skyscraper. Air rights? Oh, come on, man. Air rights? So let me get this straight. Airplanes can fly overhead and they don't have to pay you nothing. But if you want to build a building next to a cathedral, you got to pay air rights? Isn't this just a shaking down? You might as well just send your boys over with the pipes, in the billy clubs and say, you're going to pay us this protection money. That's basically what it amounts to. What it really means to work smarter, not harder. And we left Texas to move to France. Now we're buying a shockingly affordable 6-bedroom house straight out of a fairy tale. That may all be well and good, but wasn't France on fire just a few weeks ago? Maybe need to rethink that decision. What's happening today? Putin speaks. The Russian president will hold his annual press conference ahead of the country's presidential elections, which are set for March of 2024. The Crown conclusion, the final 6 episodes of the hit series documenting Queen Elizabeth's II life, is getting released on Netflix today. And happy birthday, Stan Smith, the tennis legend and namesake of the popular Adidas sneaker, turned 77. And finally, if you were long the U.S. stock index futures because you are a PulseWave subscriber and you enjoyed the profits over the last couple of days, you may want to go ahead and take some profit and get out of this market because the market's pretty much given up almost all of its gains and is pulling back aggressively here. So you may want to rethink that. But hey, who am I? I'm just the Algo Capitalist. Thank you for listening and tuning in. Please smash the like button, subscribe, share the content. And remember, bulls make money, bears make money, and pigs get slaughtered. So remember to take what you can and give nothing back. The system works if you work this system. And with that, I'm out. Peace.